When Jason walked into the firm for his first week on the job, he stepped into a machine that was already running at full speed. But instead of finding his place in that rhythm, Jason found himself sidelined. He was surrounded by activity, yet he lacked the basic information needed to participate in it. This friction stemmed from how the firm handled its data. Most of the company's daily operations existed only as tribal knowledge, unwritten rules and procedures stored exclusively in the minds of veteran employees. Without documented workflows, team leads relied on a stream of verbal instructions to guide staff. This network map shows why relying on memory is dangerous. As a manager transmits instructions, the connection fractures, dropping critical data packets. For new hires, this means working with an incomplete picture. The flashing error node manifests as avoidable misunderstandings. When daily operations depend on human memory and unwritten rules, the entire knowledge architecture becomes fragile. It creates an environment where growth is limited by the ceiling of what one person can remember to tell another. Management eventually recognized that the confusion among new hires was a recurring pattern. They weren't seeing a string of individual mistakes, but a systemic failure of their communication model. Relying on verbal procedures are incapable of supporting a growing workforce. As the team expands, the distance between the source of information and the person who needs it creates too much room for distortion. To bridge this gap, management brought in an experienced corporate trainer to completely re-engineer how the office functioned. Shifting an entrenched operational culture requires a complete structural overhaul of the company's information flow. The trainer's first objective was to move the firm away from a reliance on individuals and toward a self-sustaining knowledge infrastructure. Modernizing guidelines meant taking the chaotic scatter of tribal knowledge and forcing it into a structured central pillar. She revamped the employee portal, a hub projecting symmetrical pathways, delivering identical data to every employee simultaneously. This upgrade gave the staff 24/7 on-demand access to the firm's policies. Instead of waiting for a team lead to be available, employees could pull the information they needed exactly when they needed it. For example, even minor updates, like the change to a casual business dress code on Fridays, were now documented and accessible to everyone at once. Centralizing this data in a digital format removes the physical constraints of verbal instructions, providing a stable foundation to address the office's most significant communication gaps. With the infrastructure in place, the trainer turned to the onboarding process, ensuring that new hires were actually absorbing these new workflows. She moved the sessions away from passive listening and toward active engagement. She used simulated client cases to put the new procedures into immediate practice. These simulations acted as a stress test, giving employees a clear, hands-on look at what their daily workflow required. To prevent the office from slipping back into old habits, management established monthly refresher workshops as a standard practice. Without this type of cyclical reinforcement, even a well-engineered system can eventually degrade back into the chaos of unwritten rules. Today, the office operates with a visible sense of purpose. Employees move through tasks with a clear understanding of the next step in the process. The staff quickly adapted to the change, finding that the new structural reliability made their daily tasks much easier to manage. By documenting their procedures, the firm removed the constant friction of the unknown, allowing daily operations to run with much higher efficiency. A healthy workplace culture is built on the elimination of employee anxiety. This side-by-side comparison illustrates the shift. The mess of overlapping verbal instructions on the left is replaced by the clean, readable grid of a documented architecture on the right. Formalizing a company's knowledge base does more than just organize files. It creates a structured environment where every employee has the exact tools they need to succeed.